to week 4 of the CYBO program. Before we get started on week 4, I wanted to discuss something that came up, I guess, last night or this morning in 100% Raw Powerlifting. A rule was changed due to a video of a young man performing a curl within the current rules, but it prompted this rule change. So here it is. The legs and hips may not be used in any way for the momentum to complete the lift. Lifter may not lean back or to either side to assist in bringing the weight up. Any thrusting of the legs or hips for momentum is not allowed. Neither shoulder may dip in a manner to assist in bringing the weight up. The feet must remain flat and motionless throughout the lift. So I think that the issue for the young man was he leaned to one side, causing an uneven turn of the wrists, and then he straightened back out. What I saw in the video was him leaning to one side, but that caused his back to come off the pad. So that should have been a red light. It shouldn't have prompted a rule change because it's unneeded, it's unnecessary. All this rule change is doing, it's kind of alienating a lot of lifters and using a technique they've been practicing that's within the rules. Now it's not within the rules. My take on powerlifting federations is the powerlifting federations are for the members. The members pay the dues, they pay entry fees, and all this is doing is discouraging members to join, and it's probably going to push some out. It's probably going to push out a lot of influential strict curlers, which we've been trying to shed some light on strict curls and make it a little more popular, and I think we've been doing that. And all this rule is doing, it's just doing the reverse of that. So I think it's unfortunate. I probably won't be affected by it, but the way that 100% Raw went about this really bothers me. They kind of just made a change. I guess the president made a change, and they posted on Facebook. And kind of the middle of the year, right before, I guess it's tomorrow, it's the last few American Challenge meets. And are they supposed to enforce it at these meets? Which is extremely unfair. If they do make this change, maybe they should do it at the end of the year. Maybe they should have a discussion. Maybe they should have a vote. There are better ways to do this rather than springing it up on people when they have a meet tomorrow. I guess that's all I got to say about that. It's very disappointing. And let's get into week 4.
All right. So KPC CYBO, week 4. We're back on bands, and I added chains. So I'm doing 65%. So I have 121, and then I have 22 pounds in bands, 20 pounds of chains at the top. So total is about 89% of my max. So I have the only band set up here is I have kind of like the band pulling away. I don't have the complete vertical band. I decided to go with chains today instead of a double band setup. So as you can see with the chains, you'll see on this next set here, when I'm coming up about halfway is when 100% of the chains are off the ground. And you can see that's a good one right there. I was getting, on the third rep of each one, I was getting a really big swing from those chains. which I actually kind of liked. The momentum carried him out and made it a lot harder to finish that curl, and I like that. Maybe it might increase the risk of some injury, but I think they're light enough that it was okay, and it felt pretty good to kind of grind to the top of that third rep of each one. So there it goes again. They swing way out there, and then I just power through it. And I'm really enjoying that different angled band setup. So here we go. Set 4 here. We'll check this out. I was getting a really good grip on the bar today. I was able to get that bar deep into my hands. And here we go. Rep 1, super easy. Watch that wrist turn over. You can see a real good shot of that right wrist turning over. Grinding through that. It swings out. I got to power through, and then it was swinging back in. It kind of helped me out a little bit, but that's all right. So here we go. Here's set 5 of 5 with 121 and 22 pounds of bands, 22 pounds of, or 20 pounds of chains. Rep 1 flying up. Rep 2 flying up. Always make sure if you need to reset, you got to get that big breath back in there in your belly. Another big swing from those chains. So that went pretty good. Feeling pretty confident. Rolling into, got one set of 1 with 95%. So I cranked it up, got rid of the band, got rid of the chains, cranked it up to 173 pounds. And let's see how this one goes. And that single, I almost went for a double there. That felt great. That felt really light. That's just under my second attempt from my last meet. And I smoked that with being pretty fatigued from the 5x5. So here we go. Here's power curls. I'm just going to show you one set. It's 5 sets of 1 to 3 with 110%. Make sure you do these power curls the same way you're doing your strict curls. Here we have midpoint, dead stop, rack strict curls. So here's my setup. What I did, I just prop a pad up on the safeties. That's where my strict curl bar goes. And then in the hooks below, put a barbell in there. So I'm gonna hold my butt accountable to make it more of a strict curl. The good thing about the OBZ55 curl bar, it's longer. Most curl bars are a little shorter, and it'll still hit the safeties, but you got to be careful. If you can't get a strict setup in your rack like this, you can just put the barbell across the safeties and just lean on that, and that should do pretty good for you. So there it is. There's midpoint, dead stop, rack strict curls. So that was my setup for the midpoint, dead stop, rack strict curl. So these are new in the program. I was messing around with them the last time I ran this program, just because I was annoyed at the sticking point. So I decided to do these, and we're just doing 5 sets of 3. Try to work up to something kind of heavy, you know. Try to control it on the way down. Don't slam it down, especially if you have a nice $400 bar like this one. I just wanted to show a couple angles here. That was set 1. Here's set 2. I got 140 pounds on there. So make sure that you're curling your wrist over from the beginning of these. You want to simulate coming out of that turn. and power it up. And control that, kind of control that all the way down. Don't let it just slam down, but make sure you get a dead stop on there. And then I finish up with the wrist roller again. Just going 2 times in each direction. And I'm just rolling with the 25-pound plate here. And that's about it for week 4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, comments, just ask away. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Curling Avengers.